Hi, my name is RJ, and I am going to share my piece in a mini conference called Feature Future, a research sharing on emerging technologies for the next normal. It is presented in UP College of Education for a subject, for a course in UP Graduate School. So let's begin. As I've said, I'm going to talk about gamification. So, what's up with these games that children love to play nowadays? Us adults, we go crazy about our children playing games all the time. It seems that they are very passionate about this endeavor. They are so into their devices nonstop. What if we make use of their innate passion for games, use it in teaching? I'm talking about video games. I'm talking about role playing games, even map games, creative or captivating narrative driven stories that teaches them our content. Are you familiar with the term gamification? Have you heard of it? Gamification, in a nutshell, it takes game mechanics from a game and you put it into a non-game context or a non-game activity. Some of us might already be familiar, might already be doing it, or even at least heard of it. But let me dig a little bit deeper. How many of you use an advantage or SM advantage card, Suki card, even shopping applications that gains reward points? How many of you have decided to buy something just because it will fill your reward cards with points? How many of you have decided to buy something just because the discount coupon will expire in the next 5 minutes? Now, this is the magic of gamification. It will get you hooked. Game mechanics, such as rewards or achievement system, is applied to shopping, which is a non-game activity. And it proves the point that gamification is a great way in keeping people engaged in a specific content. Are you familiar with Foursquare, the app? It's a location data platform, much like, if I'm not mistaken, Pinterest, even Google Maps, I think. Now, Foursquare was launched 2009. So you search locations or stores inside the app. Over the years, eventually, they introduced badges. They introduced points to the users, which, if I'm not mistaken, can be spent inside the application. By 2015, their users grew over to 600 million. So people kept on downloading and using this application. And it all points to the added game mechanics in the application. They can communicate, they can leave comments for places they have checked in. They can give ratings for the stores they visited. They can earn points for achievement they accomplish inside the application. And again, all of these game mechanics, gamification. Imagine if lessons will be presented as something like a multiplayer video game, like the one presented to you. That image is an actual gamified activity board of a course in Classcraft. Classcraft is a learning management system but uses a gamified approach. Now the students, they will be the primary protagonist of the story. Lessons can be presented as challenges and they can be rewarded in game for achievements they accomplish. It can have probably leaderboards to show who gained most points among the students. And it can be a very, very enticing activity for students who are very passionate about competition. You see, Gen Z and Alpha Gen students, they are visual learners. Generally, they are not fond of lectures according to Silliers 2017. And many studies like Singh and Dangmei, Silliers 2017, Trivedi 2020, they will say that these people, these children, tend to be impatient and they have a low attention span and they have high dependence on technology, the usage of technology. Now, if our lessons will be presented as a video game, it will satisfy their visual hunger. Also, they will have an illusion of agency, according to Mindy Jackson 2016. Agency meaning the feeling of being in control of the game. But of course, they are not actually, or they're not the ones who has the only control. Because a gamified lesson has guided paths, which they are not aware of, but they are actually taking, and these will all lead to the outcomes that we have set for them. Now, that feeling of being in control, that feeling of agency, it may make them feel less burdened. These tasks probably they may feel it's like a burden to them. So the feeling of being in control, it will make the tasks seem less burdensome. Now, in developed countries, like in the West, gamification is already gaining a foothold when it comes to an alternative form of education. Even in online classes, there are several studies that shows gamification help increase student achievement. Now, it's a good alternative. During this time of the pandemic, we do not know yet about next year. But this time during the pandemic, it can help them. Well, we do not know how much or how little gamification is implemented here in Asia or in Southeast Asia, I mean. There is this study by So and Seo, 2018, and they said that in Asia, we have limited gamification studies, mostly in Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, a couple in Malaysia and Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken, or if I remember correctly. Um, but here in Southeast Asia, there are a very, very few, especially in the Philippines. Now, like I've said, we still do not know for next year if we are going for face to face or not. But whatever it will be, I'm pretty sure that this can help alleviate student boredom inside the classroom. This can keep them engaged. But in my honest opinion, no matter how ideal gamification may sound, our current educational setup is not really a great fit with gamification. Today, we prioritize grades, we prioritize expectations with the outcomes. Maybe it's the right time we talk about the changes in education for the next normal. Now imagine this. If education is an investable commodity and I will ask you to invest in it, would you put your money in education? Let me let me paraphrase that question. What if I have a brand new business. I will let you invest in my business. 50% of the business will be yours. Just invest. But I will tell you right here, right now, I have no interest in upgrading the product, even in the long run. Would you put your money in my business? I don't think so. Because when we talk about products, they should be flexible. They should be open to changes depending on the market demand. Look at how Facebook evolved over the years. Look at Grab. Started from taxis, now they are delivering products to your own homes. Now look at education. For the longest time, we have been delivering lectures over and over. We have been giving tests over and over. Well, actually, it became online because there is a need for it. Sure, it may have changed. We added different teaching strategies. We introduced collaborative learning. We introduced blended learning and such. But at the end of the day, it's still the same at its core. The adults make the decisions for these kids. But have we asked them, what do they need? From my experience in giving exit surveys every after end of the quarter, the common comment I get is, discussions are boring, school is boring. Again, have we asked them, what do you need? How can I make it better for you? Or how can I remove that feeling of boredom you are having right now? And maybe, just maybe, this is where gamification must come in for the next normal. Be it face-to-face or online distance learning. According to Wang and others, 2008, students have an innate passion when playing games. And just look at the faces of these students, these children. They are having the time of their lives while playing games. There are studies that will tell us games are great motivators for students. But what if our whole lesson is a game, an activity they love most doing? This can keep them engaged. We can teach them our content while students are having fun learning. But let's be realistic. We have to be realistic about this. Not all teachers can create video games. Not everybody has the technical knowledge for it. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a video game. It can be a simple role-playing game, just like a tabletop game, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. Or it can be a PowerPoint-driven game like this. The general idea of gamification is there must be game mechanics. Like, after accomplishing something, after achieving something, how much points do you get? Or even an epic narrative that drives the lesson. Let me give you an example. There's this person, Dr. Christopher C. from Chinese University of Hong Kong, who created an escape room type of game for his medical students. So the students were trapped inside a room and they were given clues. And the epic narrative of this story goes something like, you are trapped inside a hospital. You only have 1 hour to escape the room. This and that. So they were role playing. They need to solve puzzles together just to escape. And of course, the content of the puzzles are taken from the lessons of Dr. C. Now, collaboration, imagination, creativity, all of them are needed to solve the escape room. This shows a different kind of thinking, a different approach in the teaching and learning process. And maybe, just maybe, that's also what we need right now so that education can cope with this with the kind of students that we have. Gamification as an emerging technology, it has the potential not only to deliver lessons while making it fun, it can also teach them better collaboration, better critical thinking, greater creativity, I guess, or even better imaginative, even multitasking skills. All of this using a medium that they are very familiar with, since it has been with them for most of their lives. Their gadgets. So before I leave and I end this session, I want to share a quote from a very credible person whom we all know, one way or another. We have crossed paths with him somehow, and this person said, if we teach today's students as we taught yesterday, we rob them of tomorrow. Again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is RJ Surita. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Keep safe.